He actually. He dumped a vehicle, in the bay. No way. Oh, shit around. That's to get around to move it around. Yeah. It's just, he's like just scooping it. It's like, holy cow. That does not look safe at all. Yeah, no.
I'd like to call out to order the Isabel County Board of Commissioners. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Moreno, Commissioner Engler, Commissioner Jalazinski, Commissioner Campbell, Commissioner Sweeney, Commissioner Weber, Commissioner Hope. All present except for Commissioner Hope, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Next up is the approval of the agenda. We start out with general public comments, agenda items only. We have no presentations, special reports, no appointments to boards and commission. We have our consent agenda. We have our committee reports. There's 5 items. There's no intergovernmental affairs. We have the administrator controller report. We have no unfinished business. We have no new business. We'll open it up for general public comment again, and then we'll go around for announcements, and then we'll have an adjournment. Is there any corrections, additions, or subtractions to the agenda?
Move adoption of the agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been moved by Jalazinski, supported by Sweeney. All in favor, signify by aye. Aye. Okay, we have an agenda. Moving on, we have no presentation, special reports. We have no appointments to boards and commissions. We have the consent agenda. I guess let's start with Jerry.
Side of the room. Motion reads, move to approve and place on file the May 20th, 2025 regular meeting minutes, the May 27th, 2025 Finance Committee of the Whole minutes.
Support.
It's been moved by Jalazinski, supported by Sweeney, that we accept the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, signify by aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Okay, let's go right into committee reports. You want to read that, Commissioner Sweeney?
Item number 1, move to ratify and place on file the May 16th, 2025 list in the amount of $406,519.45. The May 23rd, 2025 invoice list in the amount of $236,305.91. And the adjustments list dated May 15th, 2025.
Support.
Been moved by Sweeney, supported by Jalazinski. You want to start off with the May 16th?
On the May 16th list, we have a total invoice amount of, again, $406,519.45. Out of that amount, $45,973.01 is general fund. And a big portion of this is $288,116.75 is to loan payments on 3 various drains. Out of the general fund portion, we have Advanced Benefit Solutions for $25,057.82. HATS is our biweekly animal control contract of $5,961.58. And then we also have manpower for contracted labor for the MRF of $6,586.30.
Okay, is there any questions on that? Seeing none, let's proceed to the May 23rd.
23rd total invoice amount is $236,305.91. A portion of this is the Weather Shield roofing system of $9,700 for roof repair at the courthouse, which the board had approved this last month. We also have a couple drain items for clearing brush around the Chippewa River drain. And we also have personal property tax disbursement to Gratiot Isabella Intermediate Schools from the treasurer for $34,212.55. The general fund portion of the 236,000 was $49,756.95.
Questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, let's go to the adjustment list.
Adjustment list is done to, for invoices that are added to avoid late fees or to take advantage of early payment discounts, and to also to reflect invoices that were changed to fix calculation or entry errors. Out of the list here that we have today, there were 4 minor changes that were done to correct errors on the AP.
Okay, any questions? If there isn't any, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, Madam Clerk? This has to be roll call.
Commissioner Jelazinski, Commissioner Campbell,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney, Commissioner Weber, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Engler. 6 ayes, 0 nays, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Weber, you want to take this next one?
Motion reads, move to approve resolution 2025-06 to oppose the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services plan to implement a competitive procurement process for prepaid inpatient health plans and authorize the board chairperson and county clerk to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved by Weber, supported by Jelazinski. You want to take this? Or we got presented? Oh, I am so sorry. Okay, we have, we missed public comment. So we need to go back. So, we need to do that, correct that right now. We'll do that right now. So, 3 minutes on agenda items only. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes.
I apologize for not catching that earlier.
That's all right. I was gonna let you know at the end. You missed it. Thank you. Bree Mogenberg. Regarding the prime contract change orders, I'm just curious if this is work that is partially or already potentially completed before it's approved by the board? And if so, is there a monetary limit or other limit that this board has set that requires approval of work expenses either before or after? And if you could, when you discuss that agenda item tonight, it would be greatly appreciated if you could just give the public some information regarding that. So again, with the prime contract change orders, is there a limit that allows work to be done before it's approved by the board, or is there not a limit, et cetera? It would just be appreciated. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Sorry for the not put in proper order, but that happens. Is there any other public comment on agenda items? Okay, is there anybody online or no? Okay. Okay, I do apologize for that. We will move forward then. I'll close the public comment and let me see. We had a second on that, so we do have a motion.
Support.
Yeah, I think we already had a second on that. So who wants, is there anybody presenting on this or?
No one's presenting. This
Okay.
right here is the presentation that was performed last week at our work session here. We had a representative from the community mental health here talking about their areas of concerns about the privatization of this possibility. They're worried about future privatization. They're worried about loss of local control over this. And so they're just asking for a letter of resolution of support to fight against this idea of going to the PIHP privatization.
Commissioner Weber, do you want to read that resolution? We try to read them. Or do you have it up or?
Whereas the state of Michigan currently operates a publicly managed and community-based system for the delivery of special behavioral health services through 10 prepaid inpatient health plans, which are responsible for managing Medicaid, mental health, developmental disability, and substance disorder services. And whereas the current PIHP system has constantly demonstrated value, local accountability, and community engagement while successfully managing costs and improving health outcomes for vulnerable populations. And whereas the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services recently announced plans to innovate a competitive procurement process through the management of PIHP functions, which may open the door to private, nonprofit health plans or managed care organizations assuming control over behavioral health services. And whereas such privatization could disrupt longstanding relationships between local mental health authorities, providers, and the communities they serve, and jeopardize the person-centered, recovery-oriented approach that has been cultivated under the public system. And whereas many stakeholders, including individuals receiving services, advocates, local officials, and providers have expressed significant concerns about the potential impact of a competitive procurement process on care quality, access, local control, and transparency. And whereas counties across Michigan have historically played a vital role in the governance, funding, and oversight of the public behavioral health system, and any change to that structure without meaningful county input undermines the principle of local governance. And whereas maintaining a publicly accountable and locally governed behavioral health system is essential to ensuring the individuals with mental health and substance use needs receive timely, appropriate, and high-quality care. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Isabella County Board of Commissioners formally opposes the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services plan to implement a competitive procurement process for prepaid inpatient health plans. And be it further resolved that the board urges Governor Whitmer, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and the Michigan legislature to halt any plans for privatization and instead work collaboratively with the counties, PIHPs, community mental health service programs, service users, and other stakeholders to strengthen and improve the public behavioral health system by only allowing public organizations with experience in managing Michigan's public mental health system to be a part of any bid process should one occur. And be it resolved that a copy of this resolution be transmitted to Governor Gretchen Whitmer, MDHHS Director Megan Groen, members of the Michigan Legislature representing Isabella County and the Michigan Association of Counties.
Thank you, sir.
Mouthful.
It's a mouthful. Yeah. I didn't have nothing against you, so. Yeah. Any more discussion on this? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Campbell,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney, Commissioner Weber, Commissioner Marino, Commissioner Jelazinski, Commissioner Engler. 6 ayes, 0 nays, Mr. Chairman, passes.
You, Commissioner Campbell, you want to take the next one, please?
Consider approving contract change number 36 with Clark Construction and the net additional amount of $20,207 and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support.
Okay, discussion. We don't have Heidi on, do we?
No, Heidi's not here.
Okay,
See if we have any follow-up.
Sheriff wants some process questions.
Can you come up, Sheriff?
Be interested in the process. Sorry. Yeah.
Some of the changes that we're seeing from contract change orders are things that we've discovered and or
yeah, we can hear.
some of the contract change orders that we're finishing up and wrapping up the project with comes from things that either didn't work right or we missed, in the vision of building the building. We're kind of coming to an end of those at this point in time in the project. For example, there was a dry chemical unit that needs to be put into an IT room that didn't get put in, like, so those things that we're wrapping up. Battery died on me. There you go. I think the battery died on that one. Change orders. This is all from buyout funds. So this is money that we saved through the value engineering portion of the project. That buyout money can only be used for this project. You can't go to other things in the county and so forth. Do you recall what this one was for as I'm digging through here?
You have the snow fence is on there as well.
Okay, there was so the employee entrance, one of the things we discovered right at the end of the season, the snow and ice would blow across there and pile up right at the door because there's some picnic tables out there. So for a short amount of money, we're gonna put a fence up there to catch that, so we don't have a slip and fall, employees coming in and out of there and having to shovel and back injuries and so forth. So that was one of them. Was there another one on that one?
And I think you got the intake group holding interior intercoms.
I'm sorry, I'll say that one again.
The intercoms for the intake holding.
Oh,
interior.
yes. So there was two in the intake area. There's several holding cells. Two of them were dormitory. And for some reason, through the entire project, we missed the whole thing and didn't get intercom systems into them. So basically, those are just a push button that you have to push, and then you can talk to the correction staff. The importance of that is the emergency backup for the inmates. If there's a medical emergency or some other emergency in that cell, they have to have a way to communicate outside of that. So we had to have those in there. Fortunately, I think at some point it was planned to have them there because it was conduit run there. We just didn't finish up with the boxes and got missed. So just things like that we're coming across as we finalized. We did a bunch of painting in like detailing what rooms or what door, like, door 5, door 6. We quickly learned that we needed to put some more up. So that was one of the things we did recently. Like, it's just easier when correction staff are moving through to be able to call out which door they're at. So we had to put some more labeling and stuff on the doors. So just things that we're finding at the end of the project here that with the buyout money makes sense to put in play and make happen. So.
So on the other cells, have intercom, it makes reference to cell B 114, 115.
Yeah, those are the architectural numbers. It's holding 10 and 11. It's our dormitory ones. The rest of them all had them. And again, they had conduit there. I think the plan was there, but at some point, there was, if some of the commissioners that were involved in that, the thousands of architectural drawings and changes throughout the process, it just got missed. So it's a complicated big building, and there's just things there that I think, and I'd be honest with you, I mean, I know some folks have mentioned, that there's things missed and they shouldn't have been missed. I just come back from the Sheriff's Association today, conference, and there's jails being built, and some of the sheriffs have basically said, that's just the way it is. Every single one of their projects were the same way. They're just mammoth projects to get right completely 100%. So.
Any more questions? And we do go through these at our, finance.
What's left in the buyout, and I know we haven't touched the contingency.
I believe there was
I know.
780 some thousand left in the contingency and I don't have the number written down, over 100,000 of the buyout. I think it was closer to 900. 166.
166, 830 in the buyout, and in the contingency, 781,774 for a total of $948,604.
And that contingency fund, like I said, we are right at the tail end. There's nothing on our horizon that we're after being in there for a few months that we're seeing. So we are right at the end of that. So I don't see much more coming out of that. I
Okay.
hope so. I'm ready to be done with it.
Questions? Thank you, Sheriff. With that, Madam Clerk, a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Sweeney,
Yes.
Commissioner Weber, Commissioner Marino.
Yes.
Commissioner Jelazinski, Commissioner Campbell,
Yes.
Commissioner Engler.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Marino, you want to take the next one, please?
Sure. Operating rate back to $1 million and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same.
Support.
Been moved by Marino, supported by Sweeney. Discussion. It's the form we see every year. It's time sensitive, so we need to get it passed. Any questions? Okay, seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Weber, Commissioner Marino.
Yes.
Commissioner Jelazinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Campbell,
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney, Commissioner Engler.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Commissioner Jelazinski, would you take the next one, please?
Market Study Implementation Plan. Motion reads, move to approve the Amy Cell Market Study Implementation Plan as modified and presented effective October 1st, 2025.
Support.
Been moved by Jelazinski, supported by Sweeney. You want to address this?
Yes, and first I'm going to invite 4 of the 5 members of the board, this committee that helped go through the study here. While they're walking up, I'd first like just to apologize for last Tuesday. I don't think I was clear enough on the explanation of the study, its value and its history. And so I think that led to a lot of questions, and I do apologize for not clearly articulating in advance. So I have 4 of the members here to go over some of the discussions. One of the things I want to point out is that this was a comprehensive job evaluation, analysis, classification, and compensation study. This did include market studies from various counties that we would consider comparable, whether it's location or size of the county or taxable of the county. So those were all the factors that Amy Sell had put into some of these comparables that were put into this. This committee, when I asked these other 5 members to come and sit down and let's get something going, we knew that this was going to be a project that required a lot more brain power than what I could do by myself. And so I'm very fortunate to have the other 5 join me on this. And so if there's any questions that you have, we got 4 of the 5 and myself, we're more than happy to answer all your questions that you have.
First, I want to thank you for throwing so much time on this. I know it's obviously important to everybody, but it's amazing to have employees, I guess, for lack of a better word, that are so engaged and putting time on and helping us implement the plan. I was wondering, do we want to keep a committee together to review or informally approve a process for looking at challenged gradings?
This committee is
Grades.
going to be, what you'll see, hopefully at the next finance committee, will be the actual policy. It's going to be a rewrite of the existing job classification policy that's already been in force. This is just going to expand upon it and kind of more outline what we're looking for from departments when if they choose to, I don't want to say protest, but to question their job classification. This committee is going to be built into the policy. This committee is going to be formed under administration. Therefore, we will then have the ability to operate as an advisory group to myself and to the Board of Commissioners on this. So there's going to be every ample opportunity that this committee is going to be here for the foreseeable, for a long, long time, as long as they're all here. They don't know yet. It's a lifetime appointment.
It's a lifetime appointment.
I did tell them at the
Feet
beginning.
first.
So that, yes, that will be into the policy, and it's like it will authorize, or it will not authorize, but that the county administrator controller may put that in there, and we used may in all these situations, so it's not a shall. Because if it's a shall, then it would be under the direct operating of the county board of commissioners, then it'd be subject to Open Meetings Act, and we want to be able to have honest and frank discussions. All of our discussions, you know, we're not keeping them private. We're going to have notes. We're going to have detailed information. So when a department head or somebody comes in and says, we question this position, they're going to provide all their information. We're going to take notes. It's going to come with the packet that's going to go in front of the Board of Commissioners for a final yes or no. And so this makes it a very transparent process on getting these positions reclassified if need be.
What were the thoughts on, I know a few of the people that have like elected official status plus their department heads, will there be a separate review system for them? There was a question about that last Tuesday.
The elected officials are going to, you set their pay every year in the budget resolution. What this does is put each elected official into kind of like a, you know, minimum, maximum, but the county board has the ability to set the pay during the budget resolution. You can't, during their term of office, you can't decrease it. So once you set it at a certain amount, but it gives you the knowledge of having these numbers available that you are within what you consider market range. So it actually enhances the board's ability when you're setting elected official salaries to know where that range has been set at per this study and market analysis.
Thank you. Yes.
And I don't know.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Is that the same for, like the chief deputies for any of the departments?
The
Because they're
chief,
salaried as well.
the chief deputies was set at 74% of what the elected official was
But
based on
that's the
past
thing.
president. It'll be the same, yeah,
Set by the board.
it'll be because of the de facto 74%, yes, whatever the clerk is set at, then the chief deputies, if I'm remembering it correctly, would be set at 74% as well, which has been past practice here. Good question.
Me, I didn't understand the
Mhm.
report. I had a hard time. I'm like, where do I follow the, you know, so I think that's kind of a problem with most people who ever see it. They're like, I don't know how to read it.
It on.
Our county administrator comments.
They were not on, and you guys could speak to the beginning of it. Was it discussed?
Yeah, I don't honestly recall, at the beginning of the process, it would be, you know, your predecessor that would have established that communication with, you know, Amy Sell to set that up. So I'm really not sure.
Is there anything the committee would like to state or express on their experience or future?
They probably on behalf of the committee as a whole, you know, we thank the Board of Commissioners and thank the county administrator for giving us the opportunity to actually dive in deep and get into the weeds with regard to stuff like this compensation study, as well as, you know, our insurance committee. These committees, you know, really, I think, enhance our ability to communicate back to our staff, let our staff know where we're going. And it's not always a situation where, you know, we have all those details. In these cases, we've had it. So we, I think on behalf of all of us, thank the board as well as the county administrator for the opportunity.
And do we should have the policy ready for next Tuesday's. You'll see the policy. It's going to be a rewrite of the existing job classification policy that's in the non-represented manual. So there's already policy, but it's just going to expand to make it more current.
Like you mentioned, Commissioner Slaney to kind of help. I know we talked about it after the meeting, just when we were moving that policy gives clear direction to department head on what to do if they want to, you know, challenge a classification if it's looking at stuff and what's been and when in each step. So I think that was a good addition to help that out. So I'm glad you brought that up too. It helped us, you know, work on that part.
I would take away the word challenge though, because we're not saying.
Well, right,
This
right.
isn't a fight amongst, you know.
Right.
There are issues, I think, at times where you know, rates change in different communities, and I think comparables change a little bit, or circumstances change a little bit. And at those times, you know, there's got to be an avenue, which we discussed right from the beginning of this committee, that we would be establishing so that people would have the ability to put something in front of us to say, these things have changed, they've followed our foundation, can we make changes to these? And that's what we've put out there. So I don't mean to jump on you with the chat, but I just don't want anybody to think it's a challenge for us against them kind of a thing.
Right, whether reviewing a job classification or a job description.
Yeah,
It could be, we're reviewing it.
Exactly. Actually, part of the policy we included, you know, so that we make sure that our job descriptions are all up to date, that we put an onus back onto elected officials and department heads to do that review. It's a shall there. You shall do that review on an annual basis of all your positions to make sure that those job descriptions are in line, and we don't get ourselves into a situation that we're in that so many of our positions are have fallen you know, below market. And this study, for those that have been through it, it is complicated to read at times, but there are positions that are redlined in this process. This is not just a all-inclusive, you know, raises for county employees kind of a thing. There's positions that are going to be redlined. There's positions that will also be below market and be looked at working up to pay that market over the 3-year period.
Go ahead.
So I'm so glad we're gonna take lots than the last 4 years. Totally.
Something to say? Yeah, I'll just bring in the budget, talking about the budget and the policy. Is there going to be some deadlines? If we get late for the appeals process or change, I know this is going to be a 3-year.
For this year, we're not going to have a deadline because it's just being rolled out, but in future years, we're going to have March 1st as kind of a deadline for anybody that wishes to appeal their job classification, so we can get it done. But this year, it would be unfair to the employees to not have that opportunity. We think we're pretty close on everything. There might be some small movement and stuff, but nothing major. And again, the 1/3 portion of this has already been input into the fiscal year 26 budget under a separate line called market adjustment. So it is already reflective in the budget that was presented last Tuesday.
Okay. Any more questions? Like to thank the panel,
Thank you.
committee,
Appreciate it.
panel, committee. I don't know, that kind of day. With that, I guess we're ready for a vote. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Marino?
Yes.
Commissioner Jelazinski? Commissioner Campbell?
Yes.
Commissioner Sweeney?
Yes.
Commissioner Weber?
Yes.
Commissioner Engler? 6 ayes, 0 nays. Motion passed, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. With that, we're done with the business part of the agenda. We have no intergovernmental affairs. Administrator, controller, we have any comments?
Just like take this time to again thank the committee. They did not know that this was going to be an appointment long-term. But as we roll it out, it is going to be a long-term commitment, because not only do we have to go through and look at individual job classifications, but every year and anytime there's a new position or a step, recalculations have to be done. And that's going to require, you know, Finance Director Whitmer and others on the staff. Tim did a lot with the spreadsheets and stuff. So it's gonna be a lot of work internally by spreading it out over 3 years, but we felt that that was the prudent way to go. And I just want to thank the committee again. That's all I have.
We have no unfinished business, no new business. We'll open it up for general comment, general public comment, limited to 3 minutes. General public comment.
Hi there, thank you again. On April 25th of 2025, an email was sent to all of you requesting some of the information that I've now put into a FOIA. You will each be given, when I leave, a copy of this FOIA. It is an official FOIA, and I am requesting information pertaining to that which the Board of Commissioners would have regarding any and all studies regarding the recycling center, including but not limited to information pertaining to the potential privatization, names of realtors or realtor businesses, and the results of such contacts as it pertains to the potential sale of the abated county building, and a copy of the work study that has been completed, including but not limited to the employee ratings and any increase or decrease in pay that employees had. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else for general public comment? Yes.
Hi, I'm Kelly Fountain. Just wanted to let you know, I am circulating a petition for Axe My Tax. I'm not sure if you've heard of it before. It's to eliminate property taxes in Michigan. I just wanted to let you know I'm going to be circulating it, so you might see me out and about. If anybody wants a sign, just find me and we'll get that signed. But yeah, and if you have any questions or anything, I can answer them. There, you can go on axmytax.org and you can look up all the information. So just thought I'd let you know. Thanks.
Thanks, Kelly.
I had to fill this out.
A pen?
Yeah, you're supposed to sign it.
Oh,
But, oh
I'll
well.
put your name down.
Yeah, it's all good. So just thought I'd let you know.
Sorry about that.
Okay, any other public comment? Is there anybody online at this time? I've seen no one coming forward, so at this time I will close the general public comment. We'll go to announcements. Any? Yes, Commissioner Moreno.
You know, a little bit of the results of the legislative day that I attended recently. We were in, it's representative Altman's office, and they wanted to say that the revenue sharing trust fund bills that are advancing have bipartisan support with very favorable path. And also the water affordability bipartisan support for that too. That was one that was, God, introduced. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Introduced in the last session and never got passed. But a few other ones that I think are really, the law enforcement people are especially retirees are interested in, was held up and it wasn't submitted to the governor for signature, but it allowed retired lawmaker or law enforcement people to work for like a sheriff department or anything like that. So we are all hoping that will pass, right? That would be kind of a small help in the situation we especially have here. So I'm going to keep monitoring that, and I will mail out a Excel chart with all these bills that you can follow along with me, and I'll put more in as the time goes on.
Okay, any other comments? Commissioner Jelesinski.
I'm aware on the internet that the clerk's office is proposed to be moving into the old jail. And I voiced this before. It's a 74-year-old building, and our administration building was like 50 years old. So I'm concerned that there might be asbestos there. We had no reason to look into it when it was occupied prior to its closure for use as a jail. But I still feel before we put anybody in there, we should do a study to see if it is a safe environment for our employees and for the public. Additionally, does it make fiscal sense to move an office in there? I know the argument was that you could get revenue for passports. What is the cost of operating, heating that building and paying the utilities and so on? Those are just concerns I have in this move.
Okay. Commissioner Sweeney.
I would say that I did go into that building with the clerk, and we looked at the front offices where they newest section of it, and we were there our facilities. So I think Commissioner Hope was there as well, and so that front section is in line a section of that building that it's going to have to be used to receive inmates that are going to the court system, so that they'll come into that building and then transferred through the hallway to the court system. So a section of it be open as well. So we can, I think, discuss these issues, I think, going forward, but several of us have looked at it.
Yes, you are.
I didn't probably speak, with specific or
You were spot on, Commissioner.
Okay.
So we're still using travel path to the secured tunnel to the courthouses. We have no intentions of moving inmates back and forth outside or any other process through the front doors of the court. That would be counterproductive to our mission. So that is being used. As far as, and I'm certainly not an engineer or anybody that specializes in that, but just remember most of those offices that were, it just does not like me. So most.
It's working. It's working.
Okay, the guy went off. So most of those offices were built and additions built on where, the asbestos stuff wasn't even, you couldn't use it anymore. I'm not saying that something, something in one of these or whatever, but I would think the office space is probably okay, if I had to guess, versus maybe what you could find in the back or something like that. I will tell you, I was told again, and there's nothing that I'm aware of that's officially written, but when they did some of the additions in the jail years ago, had to be tested and gone through, and they found nothing at that point. Again, that was historic word of mouth, so I couldn't confirm or that actually is the case or not. But just want to put that out there, that some of those offices and stuff were built could actually use that kind of material.
That's good to know.
Okay,
No, that corridor is in the newer sections, correct? It doesn't
Actually,
go to the old front office area.
so the inmate portion, yeah, so we have the doors all locked. So it's been our fear that someone would get back there and not be able to get out. So it is locked down. My command staff still has keys, and then maintenance has keys to the jail piece of it that still exists, or the detention side of it. When we bring in the inmates, we're using an older path, and the old Green Mile, if many of you've toured it, it's the old piece of it, but it's just a walking path back to where the elevators are at, to the secured area, to the courthouse. So but none of the office staff, anybody that might be in there, could get back into that area at all.
Well, in my mind, it's still an unknown. And I know when I was a student at Central Michigan University in 1973, I worked for a organization called it was I can't remember the name of the organization now, but anyhow, we functioned in the basement of that building, and that would have been 73. So that building predates that. So again, I just think there could be some hazardous asbestos, lead paint. I just don't know, but none of us do know. And we're putting people into that.
Certainly not my expertise at all. I just know that some of the offices were built after the time frames we could actually use that stuff. So, but yeah, it's certainly not my expertise at all. So
That was back. Sheriff Willis, I think, was Ellis, I think.
yeah, it's
Then-
been a while. So yeah.
Yeah.
And they've done 2 or 3 editions, Barry DeLu made the last edition on, so when he was there. So it's not, aren't as old as, the rest of the building.
Thank God.
Yes.
Any other announcements? Okay, thank you, Sheriff. With that, we will ask for a motion for adjourn. Been moved by Moreno, supported by Jelasinski. All in favor, signify by aye. Aye, opposed the same,
Right here.
5:44.